Hey everybody, Hi-Viz Smiley here. Out here playing the old familiar play spot. Some of my OG subscribers would know that I play out here frequently because it's just so dang close to me. And wouldn't you if you had a place to play like this in a deal sport? That's what I thought. I'm out here in my street gear. I got my Icon jacket on and freaking work boots. So, but it's nice to come out here, get a little exercise in, and ride slightly like an idiot. I've kind of got some news that's still developing. Okay, my wife drives a nice vehicle, a loaded up Edge, and I drive a paid for but old Durango. It's really the perfect vehicle for me because it's not nice enough to worry about parking at Walmart or nothing, or worried about scratching the interior, throwing my son's motorcycle in there. But it's also dependable enough and big enough for me, you know. I got the opportunity to drive a 13 Focus ST, which I've drove many before, but this one was the one for me. It's relatively low mileage and the right seats, the right color. It was red, the right options, you know. It was a good one. Perfect for me, considering it would have matched my father's Focus almost perfectly. I can go on about that, but I'm not going to. But anyways, after we test drove it, the next week we went on a vacation, beach vacation. We're sitting at the outdoor portion of a restaurant in Orange Beach. My wife, my son, and I were sitting outside. And we're close to the strip, or close to the main road in Orange Beach. All of a sudden a bunch of crotch rockets go by. Some of them are ref bombing. All of them, just about all of them were loud. You know, they were running 20, 30 to a pack. I looked at my wife and said to her, I'd kind of like to have a crotch rocket. Or another motorcycle at least. And I reckon my wife's been paying attention. Every time we go to a dealership, I point out their FZ-07 if it's a Yamaha dealership. Because that's the bike I really want. It's perfect. I love the FZ-07. Have loved it since it came out. And she kind of looked at me after I said that I wouldn't mind having another crotch rocket. I think that's exactly how I said it. I wouldn't mind having a crotch rocket. And she just looked at me and said, well, instead of that Focus, won't you just buy a bike? And as I picked my jaw up off the table and plopped it back into place, I said, what? She says, yeah, ain't that, how much was that motorcycle you were looking at? Talking about the FZ-07. For one, that blew my mind that she remembered. And I said, well, about $7 grand before taxes and all that. She said, that's about half as much as that car. Do it. Okay. I mean, it ruined the rest of my vacation because that's all I was thinking about. I was like, I'm going to go home and buy one now. And that's been a few weeks now. And I'm not one to make on a whim decisions. I'm not going to brash into something or do something too quickly. But Smiley may be getting a bike before long. I imagine it's going to happen done after riding season's over for most people. But if I buy a carryover model in the dead of winter, I might get a deal. That's probably what I'm going to do. Buy me a 16 model. I mean, I've been secretly bike shopping for a long time because this thing's just not good for long distances. Yet I have not rode one, so I don't know if the ergonomics are perfect for me, and that's one thing to consider that I haven't. But if I ride one and I like it, I may come home with one before long. Or hell, I may keep my money in Supermoto this thing. You never know. You better not screw me up, squirrel. Good. Third gear. Like I say, we might turn up one day. Who knows? And another thing about the FZ-07 is for 16 they added the gray with green wheels option, or Hi-Viz or fluorescent, whatever you want to call it, but they're essentially green, much like my Hi-Viz attire. And although that would go perfectly with my color scheme that I've chosen for myself, that, you know, I really enjoy the color, I don't know if I'd want one strictly because of how nasty the wheels would look all the time. I have that to consider. I've seen plenty of black ones, and like those, I almost want a little bit of color besides a solid, you know, triple black, double black, whatever you want to call it. I'd almost want a little more color, but, you know, I could certainly live with it. They're beautiful motorcycles. And I don't need a second motorcycle. You know, I've been babysitting the Harleys for a little while. If you ain't seen me on a Harley, click one of these videos. Ding. But, you know, why wouldn't you want two motorcycles? If your wife says yes, shoot yeah. And the whole car thing, I've got a baby coming, and I've got one son, you know, I've got my son as it is. I'm hoping to welcome another son in the middle of March. I don't really need to downsize a vehicle because I've got a third row vehicle, a third row SUV, wherein essentially I would get a four-door hatchback, you know, the ultimate downsize. I don't really want to do that with a baby coming, but you know, if it would have been for a race car, of course, as that car was, I was willing to do it. But you know, it just doesn't make sense financially, logically. You know, I'll have the opportunity to get my hot rod, but that one was kind of a Cinderella deal. Hell, I may buy it, I don't know. It ain't like it's out of my grasp. I could get one anytime I wanted one. I've got connections in the industry. Something to look forward to with Hi-Viz Smiley's YouTube channel. We may be a 2, 3, or 4 bike, however you want to look at it, stable here before long. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking through all the way to the end. You don't know how much I love you. And if there's anything you got questions about, feel free to drop me a comment. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you like this content, subscribe, because there's more of it coming. I'm getting more and more motivated every day. Every video I put out, it's getting better and better, and it's motivating me to get better and better. It's been a lovely ride so far. But at any rate, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I'll see y'all guys in the next video. See ya. Peace.